Hey guys, story time again, and just jump right over those. If you will notice, we are back in space, and we are back on the lifeless planet that is not so lifeless, right? What was that, and why? That thing does not seem to like me, whatever it was, so I'll avoid that. Right off, you may notice there's a slight difference, and that is there is no face cam. There's no face cam here, and just the little me in the suit. There I am. These are just the wandering, meandering thoughts of a lonely spaceman who's wandering around on a planet. I'm talking to myself because I have no one else to talk to. But the reason there's no face cam is because, well, three reasons actually. One, I don't really think it's needed for story time. Generally, when I want a face cam there, it's so you can see my reactions to things like excitement or intensity or fear if I'm playing a horror game, right? But the whole point of this is to play the most ambient, atmospheric games possible while I tell you guys stories. So the face cam, first of all, becomes kind of, you know, useless. There's really no reason to have it there because I can't see myself needing to make any goofy or horrified faces during story time. At least I hope I don't. Reason number two is, it's saved. Reason number two is because I've had people, not many, just a few, who've confused the story time videos for just my normal gaming videos. And they've come to me and they've said, hey, look, I saw your last gaming video and you seemed really, down. You didn't seem normal. You weren't acting like you usually do in games, and I just wanted to make sure, you're okay, that you're not feeling bad and that you don't need, somebody to talk to. And while that's awesome that, people would do that they would have concern for me, and I'm very thankful for that, I don't want people to think that I'm feeling down while I'm doing these, because I'm not. I'm just in a more relaxed kind of mode and just talking along different subjects. Okay. I missed that horribly. I'll have to go back up there. So I don't want people thinking that I'm down, and having no face cam on the storytime videos, it helps set it apart from my normal gaming videos. So I'm gonna have no face cam on this from now on, just as another way to set it apart. And the third reason is that when I'm about to do a story time, it's usually late at night and my lights are off and I'm just kind of sitting around and I'm feeling like talking to you guys. And really all I want to do is I just want to start up a game and play it like I normally play a game with people to talk to at the same time. But to set up the face cam, well, now I've got to put on a good shirt, and I've got to turn on all the lights, and I've got to turn on the camera, and I've got to set up the capture, and I got to set up the studio for visuals. Which by the end of that, I'm kind of pumped up, and I'm not that that's a bad thing, but I'm not really in a relaxy, hanging out with people mode anymore. I'm aiming more towards, all right, time to go and have some excitement, and yeah, by the way, you don't want to step on those for too long, and do a normal gaming video. I'm not in the mood anymore for just hanging out. And so that's the third reason that there's no more, is that I'm more comfortable doing a story time when there's no camera. Oh, shit. So, and if I'm more comfortable, then that's going to be better for me for being a little bit more intimate with you guys, a little bit more human, I think. I hope, anyway. So here I am, and I'm just the voice in the night, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but I think part of the goal that I have for this and for other shows I've done, oh damn it, the hell. I'll spend the whole episode just doing this. Is, you know, one of the most comfortable times that I can remember is when I've been on, you ever been on a really long car trip and it's the middle of the night, you're alone, you're driving on some lonely highway somewhere, and you turn on the AM radio, 3 a.m., there's no one to talk to, and over the radio comes this voice. And this voice is just talking to you. Could be about anything. Maybe they're taking phone calls, offering help, advice to people for relationships. Some of them even talk about aliens or conspiracies, and it doesn't really matter. The subject matter, they're just a voice. They're a voice in the middle of the night when you're there alone on AM radio, and it can sometimes last hundreds of miles because AM radio is much longer, it's got a much longer transmission capability than FM. So you have these talk shows in the middle of the night where some voice out there, just out in the darkness, is just helping you out, keeping you from being lonely. I'm wanting this to go that direction. That's what I want this to do. And so that's kind of another reason that, you know, I want to get rid of the face cam for this, because it is really a different show. All right, now how is this one just going to be really hard? Oh, yeah, it is. You can't stand on those things for very long. They give you about like 2 seconds, and then they kill you pretty hard and pretty terribly. So you don't want to, don't want to tangle with them. Oh, what do we have here? What be this? Oh, it's just okay. I thought maybe that was a point of interest or something, but apparently it is not. Let's see here. What's around the next corner? Wow, it's just desolate, this place. I was thinking, games like this make me think sometimes. I mean, I love being in space. I would love to be in space. I think I'd prefer to be on a station rather than another planet. Even though another planet wouldn't be so bad, I wouldn't mind that. Either way, I'd love to be in space, and games like this make me reflect and ask myself questions like, what would I miss if I was in space, where I would love to be? I'm sure there's still things that I would miss about Earth, about being on Earth and living on Earth. And so I asked myself that, what would I miss if I were living in space? And I've come up with several answers for that. I believe I would, I think I'd miss real air, like breeze. I would miss breeze, like when you go outside and there's moving wind. I would miss gentle breeze, not like strong winds like tornadoes or anything, but just wind. And I think also I would miss the noms. I would definitely miss the noms. That would be the biggest thing that I'd miss, because I'm sure that when you're in space, on a space station, you're not going to be able to get, you know, a huge variety of noms there. You're going to have to wind up, you know, eating the most resilient and easy to grow plants in 0G, and, you know, potatoes and rice, things like that, which I wouldn't mind that, but I would miss the variety of noms from Earth, unless of course they, you know, had like some full crazy hydroponics bay where they could grow all kinds of vegetables and asparagus and fruits and apples and pears and if they had like, you know, a farm with meat, you know, so if I could have steaks. I don't picture that happening on you know, on a space station, but maybe it could. I don't know. Maybe they have zero-G farms. I mean, floating cows. That's a fun idea. You know, you could invent, you just walk in there, cows are floating. Moo! You'd invent new sports. Cow ball. Hey Jim, let's go over and play us around a cow ball. Just get a big enough hoop and just, you know, try to bat cows through a big net or something. Then once they're done being a ball for sports, then you can harvest them and make steaks out of them. See, that would be okay. That would be okay. Then if that was the case, then I would not miss noms in space because I'd have all of the noms. Well, it'd be hard to cook, though. I mean, imagine cooking in zero-G. Man. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I remember this. There's a thingy in here, but... Oops. Yeah, not powered. Find a way to restore power. Now, you can go in... No, you can't go in there yet. This was a place where there was, and I don't know if there is anymore. I really hope they fixed it. But there was a game-breaking bug right in this area. And I'll show you where it was. By the way, you don't want to walk in any of this. None of it. If you step foot anywhere in here, then you're gonna die. Like, that's why they have these things. Uh-huh. No. There we go. Now we got this thing. Alright, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. See all that? That'll kill you too. So, we have this. And what we want to do is we want to take the ball that's laying in there, right? We gotta grab that with our little arm so that we don't get killed. Come on, get it. Grab that thing. Okay, now we put it in here. Boogie. There we go. And now we can pick it up. Not like that, though. We can go over here and drop it in here. Now, the problem was that is the only, like, glowy rock around here. And if you screwed up, which it was very easy to do, and dropped this thing and it rolled down there, well, you couldn't get it because you tried to run down there and get it and you would just die. But the problem is, whenever you died, it would respawn this rock where you last dropped it. So you could never get it again. You literally had to start the whole game over and play it all again. Like, oops, don't you dare. See, I just about did it myself there. No, it's not a hard thing to drop this thing where it's not supposed to be. There we go. Alright, now we've got electricity. Green electricity, I don't know why. Okay. Off we go. And we're out of here. Now, you get to go back and stop listening to that very rhythmic noise, which I'm not terribly fond of. Those aren't quite my jams. You get to come over here, and we get to open this massive, massive door, like so. That is a very huge door. That door probably weighs a lot. Uh-huh. We got a thing right here.
Вон там.
Oh.
Сломан.
Yeah, I can see it's broken. Great. There go my hopes for getting off the planet.
Yeah. This was the one that was supposed to be left. I've discovered the portal the Russians used to travel between Earth and this planet, but the device is inoperable. It seems there was some kind of massive failure, which we learned was an explosion. So I won't be able to use the portal to return to Earth. I'm also running out of oxygen, but I believe there's another supply module several kilometers north of here. What makes you think that? You don't know that. The woman is leading me in that general direction, so with any luck, I can make it there and charge my oxygen. But then what? First things first, I guess. Alright. So here's the thing. And I remember being so confused at this. Obviously gonna go up here.
I need to move that platform.
Now, this is what sucks, because it's like, I need to move that platform. Well, what, that one? This one over here, that one down there, that one over here? It didn't make any sense. It wasn't very clear what you're supposed to do. But I remember because, oh, pardon me, it took me forever to figure out. So I won't forget it. Okay. This is a long one. I'll scroll it so you can read it if you want. There you go. Okay. Alright there. I thought I'd just cut out where he was talking and just skip his life story. In any case, what you have to do with this, there's Diamondite. Hit over here. And you grab one. And you come over here. And you put it... Come on. Up you go. You can make it. Just drop it here. And now you run. Off we go. And that should do it. Boom. See, I wouldn't want to be there, or that would actually crush my entire face. And we don't want a crushed face. We need that. You know, I actually did, when I was a kid, one time, I was almost crushed to death. I got my first job when I was 8 years old. And that job was working part-time every day, working as the janitor's assistant for the high school, for the little town I lived in. Now, the janitor happened to be, at the time, my father. So, he thought it was important that I learn the value of work and getting paid, and so he gave me a little job. It didn't take long. It was, I'd go over to the high school every day after I was done with elementary school, and I would... Yeah. I know this part. This is the part where she actually does help me. So, I would go there every day after school, and I'd spend a couple of hours emptying the garbage from all of the classrooms. We'd go around with a big bin and just empty all the trash cans that were in all of the classrooms out, and then I'd put that in a little storage closet, and that was my day. And I earned $5 a week doing that. And I was so proud. I was so happy that, you know, I had a job, and I had my own money, my own little spending money that I could do with whatever I wanted to. It wasn't much, but, you know, when you're 8, and it was early 80s, it wasn't too bad. It was, you know, a nice, fun amount of money to have for me. So, in fact, at one point, I remember... Yeah. At one point, I remember actually donating... For a while, for about a year, I donated my $5, I think $5 a month to, some starving children in Africa program that was probably a scam, now that I think about it. But,
Стой, подожди!
Yeah. When she yells that... When she yells that, it means stop. She's gonna do it again here in a second. Where is it? Come on. Stoich! Where's your Stoich? Where's your stoich?
Стой, подожди!
There it is. Now we can go.
Сейчас. Стой, подожди!
Ah,
Сейчас.
thank you. I'm glad you know where these things are. You're really helpful to me. Anyway, so I was helping out my dad, and he had another guy there who was helping him out for a short time. And on that particular day, they were moving things around, and they wanted to move the cafeteria tables. Yeah. The cafeteria tables needed to be somewhere else, and I don't know if you remember the old cafeteria. I don't know how they are now, if they've changed it all, but these used to be these big tables, that heavy things that had the seats attached to them, if you remember your elementary school table. Well, those things would fold up in the middle, and they become this huge monolith of table with wheels on the bottom. So here I am, and I'm helping them move the tables.
Направо.
Her left, my right. I see how this works.
I don't.
Давай, давай,
I think that means right.
давай, давай.
Okay. Oh, right. I think I got it. Anyway, so I was pushing this thing, one of these things, across the gym floor, because I had to go on the other side, in a room on the other side. And on the edge of the gym floor, where the gym turns into, you know, I guess the other part of the floor where everybody stands, there was a slight edge, a ledge, little thing that, you know, stopped the gym from being the gym and the normal floor from being the regular floor. Well, I was stupid. I was a dum-dum, and actually, like I'm being now, I don't see where to go. Oops, that's not it. Goodbye, Crew World. Okay, well, let's try that again, shall we? So me and my dum-dumness. Decided that I was gonna pull it over that little ledge, facing, with the table facing me. Instead of pushing it over edgewise, which would have been easy, I tried to pull it over that ledge from the table side. Now, not a smart thing. These things, they weigh like 450 pounds. They're a lot of metal, a lot of wood, you know, covered with a lot of, you know, stuff on it that, wow. Can I even get through here? I may have to, oof. I don't think I can reach that. Well, I'm doomed now. So long! Alright, we'll get through this. We will. In fact, let me find a way through this and then I'll continue the story here. Okay, I know where I'm at now. So yeah, the thing fell on top of me, and I was able to slow it down as it was coming down on top of me. But keep in mind, this thing is heavy. Like I said, is, you know, about 400 pounds. And I mean, while, you know, you gotta remember, I was an 8-year-old kid. So I was just barely able to slow this thing down as it just settled on top of me. And it was so heavy. I've never had a moment like this in my life before or since. It was so heavy that it crushed the air out of me. I couldn't take a breath to even scream. And I'm laying there under this table
Налево.
that's really crushing me. And I would have died. Now, I thought I was going to, because the last I saw of my father and the other guy, they were ahead of me, and they'd already gone into the next room. So they were gone. They were out of eyeshot of me. Now, I couldn't scream. I'm laying there under this table. I can't breathe. And I'm sure it was not doing much for the rest of my body either. But by some luck, they decided not to stick around in that room for very long. And they came back out after about, I'd say maybe 20 seconds. I'm under this table. And man, 20 seconds when you're in a situation like that, believe me, can be a really long time. It doesn't seem like it, but you're being crushed under a 400-pound table, and that is going to really, really be a long 20 seconds. Whoa. This is hard. Ouch. This is going to be a hard thing. But luckily they came out. They found me under the table. They got on both sides of it and lifted it up and got me out from under it. And I was just really, really lucky that day that, you know, they didn't decide to go in a different room and do a different thing for a little while. I could have very much died. You know, there's many times I can think of in my life where I could have died so easily and, you know, would have, but something happened and I didn't. You know, I got lucky. So that's the story of me almost being crushed by a big table. And you know what? Let's see here. What do we got? I've already got a few things to talk about next time. Let me get to a place where I actually remember what I'm doing here. Because I think where we need to go is over here. I'm pretty sure. And then... yeah, we need to disturb this thing. There we go. And then we... come on, get on top of it. Then we go up. There we are. Now we're sitting pretty on top of this. And I think we're about to get to the next section of game, actually. So... let me just wander through here until I see a save symbol. And then I will bid you all adieu for the day. I really like talking with you guys on the show. I hope you enjoy the different kind of interaction, the more personal interaction, because I like doing it sometimes. And with that, thank you guys for tuning in again to another story time, and I will see you again on the next one. Take care.